This week I've been driving the new Fiat 500 for city car which offers retro styling. But what's changed on the new model? Well, in all honesty, not a great deal. Most of the changes are cosmetic. So on the front you will get a new studded grille. Changes have also been made to the front headlights, and you also get more personalisation options. For example, you can choose to have Fiat second skin, but we'll get on to that in a few more moments. The 500 is Fiat's best selling car at the moment, so it makes sense for them not to change anything. The new model is evolution rather than revolution. So as you can see, this particular 500 has got a rather distinctive style. What this has is what Fiat calls the second skin. What it is essentially is a vinyl that covers the entire top half of the car. This one is a camouflage style, which I wasn't too sure of to begin with, but I've actually quite grown to like it as the week has gone by. Would I have it on my car? Probably not, to be honest. Mostly because this option is £850, which is quite a lot of money for what is essentially a large sticker. Also, it's a bit of a pain to clean, so it does look cool, but it's an option I would probably avoid. The bold exterior may not be to everyone's tastes, but what is the inside like? So as you've come to expect from the Fiat 500, the inside is stylish and provides a retro feel. I especially like the chrome effect door handles, which look like they've come straight from the 1950s. Overall, the inside is a nice place to be. There are a few cheap looking plastics here and there, but other than that, I've got no real complaints. But what I do have a complaint about is the driving position. Although this is the top of the range model, the steering wheel only adjusts the rake, so therefore it will only go up or down. Because of my height, I need to have the steering wheel at its highest, which means when I'm sat back in my normal driving position, I cannot see the bottom of the speedo, which I find quite disappointing. Also, you're sat quite high up, which is quite unusual for a car like this. So I'm not a big fan of the driving position. It did take me a while to find one that was comfortable, and also I find there's not a lot of room for my left foot. If I'm not changing gear or if my foot's not on the clutch pedal, my left foot is squeezed rather awkwardly in the corner. But on the plus points, I do have quite a bit of headroom. The seats are quite comfortable and provide a good level of support, and actually meant the 500 was quite manageable on long distance journeys, which was quite surprising. So overall there is quite a lot of room in the front, but the same cannot be said for the back, however. Now, as you might be able to see, I am rather cramped in the back here. I'm 6'2", so getting here was always going to be a challenge, but even so I was expecting a little more room. Now I must stress that the seat is adjusted for me, so therefore anyone sitting behind me was always going to have less leg room, but even so I was expecting a little more than this. I can't even get my hands in front of my knees. And in regards to the headroom, well, there isn't any. So I think it's safe to say that the back of a 500 is definitely best reserved for children and small adults at best. Like the rear, there's not a lot of space in the boot either, thanks to the car's small dimensions. But what equipment do you get? So in terms of equipment, this is the lounge model, which is the top of a range 500. This comes with a 0.9 105 horsepower twin-air engine and is priced at £14,580. For that, you get rear parking sensors, LED running lights, a Uconnect infotainment system which has auxiliary, USB and Bluetooth connectivity, and a leather steering wheel which has multifunction command. You also get air conditioning and alloy wheels, but it's worth mentioning if you go for the base model 500 you will not get either of those options, the air conditioning or the alloy wheels. A few options have been included for this model, however, which include the anti-dazzle rear view mirror, the DAB radio and TomTom sat-nav, the second skin which I mentioned earlier, and also the 7-inch TFT screen which replaces the speedo. Now those options do come at a cost, and that means the car I'm sitting in prices at £17,630. Now I don't know about you, but that's quite a lot of money for such a small car. But pricing aside, what's the 500 like to drive? So the drive for 500 is good fun. It's got plenty of character, and thanks to the 2-cylinder engine, it expensive and just makes the car feel a little sporty overall. It won't give any hot hatches any issues, so that's for certain. So all in all, the Fiat 500 is a fun little car to drive. It's got plenty of character, the engine makes a nice noise, but it's not without its shortcomings. As I mentioned, the driving position is rather awkward, and you just simply can't get away from its high price tag. But if you can stomach the price, then this should be a little fun city car for you to drive. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video, and be sure to subscribe to get even more car obsession.